welcome in. I am currently looking up references for today's fan art. As you can tell by the title, it is going to be Vampire's SMP fan art. For those who don't know, there was since there wasn't a Vampire's SMP episode this week, a heap of artists on Tumblr and I don't know if it was on any other platforms, did a heap of fan art that was effectively a beach episode. Nothing chaotic happened. They all just went to the beach. Well, nothing chaotic that actually attributes to plot. There definitely was some chaotic fan art that I saw. But right now, I have this set up. All their references. I made a bigger one so that I could use this as a base. I will wind up doing my own underlay that is basically a similar setup. But yeah, needed something here to be the starting soon screen. But yeah, I found out from doing this research that swimwear really wasn't a thing until very late in the Renaissance era. So figuring out what time period these guys are all in is kind of difficult, because but probably it's sometime after the Renaissance. Otherwise, I would have to be switching over to a completely different streaming site, because I don't want to be banned. Anyways, I'm just going to swap here from trying to find the period accurate to just going vintage swimwear. But yeah, there really wasn't any specific clothing to be worn for swimming or bathing until the late Renaissance, according to what I've seen. So don't take that as fact. Do your own research. But from what I've seen, that it seems to be the case. Before then, it was just towels around the waist or nothing. So yeah. I do. Let's do men's, because I've seen enough of the women's to know what that looks like. Oh boy. Do I give the men shirts? Or are they getting tank tops and very high shorts? Ooh. Do the guys get that? Or And who to start with as well, now that I think about it. Who do I want to start with drawing? On one hand, I could start with my favorite duo of Pearl and Cleo. But on the other, I want to warm up first. That pause in the music for a moment made me think that it had crashed. Okay, where's my stylus? There it is. Okay, and that is working. Unlike it what is yeah, my brain is confuzzled. Okay, so some of the fan art where the artist has decided that the vampires don't get to swim out and wear, they just wear their regular outfits in the water. Just okay, that. And where's my sketching pencil? Nope, too big. Nope. That's right. And there we go. So I'm just gonna start by sketching out a bunch of different scenarios happening on this beach before I decide who's where. So let's get the feet in first. I'm realizing, even though I made the canvas bigger, that it feels like I didn't make it big enough. Yeah, figuring out a canvas size that doesn't cause Critter to crash while I'm streaming is going to be a bit of a project, so... Oh, and I just realized that was not on a layer I wanted to be on. Okay, so let's just quickly name these while figure out what I'm doing. Grouping those together. Person. And I'll just duplicate this whenever I need it. Okay, so... let's see, who's this gonna be? Beach poses. Duo poses. Or I could just try beach episode poses. Oh. Oh, one of these is perfect. And I know exactly which two it's going to be. Okay, so this. Please don't pixelate too badly. Okay, so our first pair is going to be Scott and Shelby. Well, it's at least going to be Shelby. Shelby! And this is going to need an additional layer called Sandcastle. I think I spelt that wrong. I think that's supposed to be EL. Nope, Ellie. Why does castle look wrong right now? I'm needing to help my brain. Nope, ignore, pursue, sandcastle. Okay. My idea of a sandcastle Shelby would make is the extravagant fancy one that could be potentially haunted. Just gonna quickly thicken this line up and come in with the erase and do the divots in. Now for Shelby. Let's figure out how. So here, legs. Just so you know, that things will be behind. Just trying to get proportionally accurate. This hand does not go here anymore because oh no, wait, that wasn't even a hand. Never mind, that was the chest. And this comes down. She's holding her other arm out to balance herself out. Beach guides. Just more to make sure that Shelby's is always going to be in line with that. I have an idea. There. Just marking that on that one, and okay, so that is how those two will line up. So even if I move the beach now, I can line up with that one. Okay, so now figuring out her outfit. I want to scale her up a bit, along with the sandcastle. Yes, I do. Because she may be small in comparison to a lot of the other people, but she isn't that small. Okay, so, and let's just quickly bring her down a bit. Add another layer. Refine sketch. Bring that back up, and let's get to working on vampire, shall we? So, bring it down to 5. Nope, still working at too small of a scale. Boy. Why do I do this to myself? Add gems there, comes down and then up and over. Now for the rest of her hair. Actually, yeah, doing the colors for this one might be best to start with. Let's grab the white of her hair. I'm not best at dynamic poses yet, but I am getting there. Line of sight is that way. Oh wait, and that's colors. Oh no. Okay, let's do this just so I'm figuring this out. That's her nose. And she could totally put the flag on there as a bat. But she's enjoying doing something simple and human. And that is overcomplicating a problem you have a simple solution for. Gonna need to move the flag back into her fingers. Let's get Shelby's skin color. Nope, this. There's absolutely nothing transparent there. Okay, that. Okay, so over everything and oh my goodness, she's the same color as the sand. Just doing this as a base. I will get rid of the sand to make sure when I put in the block in the clothing and stuff. Actually, wait. Down beneath the sketch you go. This needs at least the body. Oh boy. Nope, can't do that. I forgot the hair. Lines and let's name this one. Skin. I'm extremely concerned at the fact that I selected the feature that had with this lighting was the same color as someone's skin. Almost like it's a skin beach. Ah, hand. Hand definitely does not look right anymore. Why wouldn't she be standing up as well? She's not putting the flag there. I'm needing to do a lot of reworking of this plan. Oh, wait. Okay, so colors clear. Refine sketch clear. And sketch is being reworked. So down to 10. I know what needs to be done. Just moving her up slightly and forward. And the legs are what's going to be changing. Because they are no longer, she's no longer going to be sitting on her feet and stuff. She is going to be propping herself up a bit. Select, deselect, brush. So, oh, and it's still on erase. That won't be noticeable, just needing to indicate that the legs are separate there, and bring that down. Figuring this out. Okay. Now I need to re-pull up the reference for vintage swimwear. Found one that is definitely up at Shelby's alley. So. Comes down here and here. Comes across here. There's slight window here. But that's because it's kind of tied. I'm trying to figure out how it's tied because the reference has it as stripy. So it's hard to see. But anyways, that's only a small window because the rest is very much form-fitting. So it comes there, and then down, and there's buttons here, 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 and here. And now, in the design for the image here that I'm looking at, it then would come down here. However, Shelby comes off it to me as the one that has a bathing suit with a small skirt. So, I'm modifying the design of this a little bit to give her one. And that's totally not because of any sort of desire to give a bit of modesty. Though it is the beach. Yeah. And I'll give it a little bit of a seam line along here as well, just to indicate that that is a slight change in material from have it go from skin tight to loose and flowy. At least a bit flowy. Skirts are still a bit difficult for me. Haven't done enough of them. But anyways, that's still too thick. Go ahead. Shelby's eyes go black? No, they're just red. Now to decide, does she have a large sun hat, or is it... Is Scott... Oh, I know what Scott's doing. Scott isn't going to be sitting like here. The reference image that's inspired this had the second person doing. Changing the direction the flag's blowing. I just had a thought. What happens if Vampires SMP is still going on by the time it gets to Christmas? Nope. This one. Oh boy. Sorry for anyone who was wearing headphones and watching. My mic just dropped slightly. I have a feeling I've done the arms too long. Or the shoulders too broad. Look, that I know the flag's right. I'm not wanting to get rid of that. Okay, so just a sec. Add a layer. Hip is here and here. Move that up and you get where the shoulders are supposed to be. Those, I'm gonna move them forward slightly, so that is where the shoulders should be. I definitely have got this done wrong. Okay. However, it is slightly turned, but even still, I have it done wrong. Okay, good. I have those in place now to act as guides for where the shoulders are. I now need to rework it and move around things. Okay. That's done. And this one hasn't been drawn yet, so I'm gonna just go and I'll fix that up at the side. And this actually needs to come up a bit. This section needs to come up to and shrink down a bit. There we go. That's and gonna slightly tilt because that one's being lifted up. That one's and the other one's getting pulled back. Okay, let's do the fix-up work of this now. Let's come in and do the colors again. So, skin. I've got a skin layer now, so skin. Refresh that, and let's get the legs, which are still fine. Okay, so this This is the hair, I believe. Come on, out though. Let's just re-grab that, make sure that's right. Oh, and this needs to be a layer above all this. A layer, one more up. Ooh. Ooh, shall we have put up her hair for the beach? Ooh. Ooh, okay. Cause... Oh no. I seem to have accident... Oh, okay. So, if you were wondering why my mic... not my mic. Why my mouth was missing when I wasn't talking. When my mic dropped, it must have accidentally knocked one of the buttons that I've got assigned it to be an eventual emotion, but doesn't currently have an emotion, so it got rid of the mouth. That was my bad. I only just noticed that. I am so sorry. Anyways, let's get... Oh, no, wait, because I'm trying to figure out if it would be a bun. I keep going to do the longer hair because that's what I was initially doing, but having the thought that maybe Shelby has it up in a bun. A beach bun. And that means the ear will be visible though. So that there, leave some down to help frame the face in the usual way. Let's go get the red for the eyes. Oh, wrong layer as well. Oh no, wait, no, that is the right layer. It's just... Let's put this just above the skin. There. My brain's a bit stalled on figuring out Shelby's stuff, so let us move on to someone else for a bit. So, Shelby, hide, and now we can move this around. Okay, thinking. I know I want to do Pearl and Cleo. Group them both together. Now to figure out where on the beach to put them. Kinda wanna have them in the chairs, but I don't wanna do the backs of them. Okay, so looks like I'm going to be drawing these two chairs and drawing the reverse angle looking at them. Or looking towards them. Okay, so sun chair. Oh, and of course it did that. Sun chair. Why did it stop typing after the A? There we go. Sun chair. Why so much difficulty just to type that word? Okay, so... Let's go from here to here. This corner to this corner. Let's try and keep that in line with that line there. Now let's try and keep that in line with the horizontal line that's visible. And now we come in and erase. There we go, we have the right angle now for a sun chair to be reversed. So let's just quickly grab this, move it over, and start adding the details for it to become a sun chair. And I've got that on. Oh, it's not. I just noticed the legs are not. Are not in line with the corners. So that is an interesting detail I didn't immediately notice. Have I made it through squat now? Yeah, and I've realized that I could do a different style to what is actually already in the picture. Just needed to get the right angle. I am a fool! Okay, so Sanche I'm going with is one that isn't so much adjustable, but it has armrests, which neither of those two do, so that's the upside. I'm doing a terrible job at this Sanche. What on earth am I doing? Quickly before it's not. Oh, there. Okay. I need to pull up a reference image of a proper sun chair in the style that I'm trying to do. Okay, so typing that in now. Sun chair. Come on, keyboard, work. Why did it get rid of the C? Okay, here we go. The sort of ones I'm looking for is kind of hammock-like, which is going to be... Why do I do this to myself with the idea that the one that I like the most is probably the more complex one than I was already trying to do. Okay, so let's just quickly duplicate this layer, move this down, and that is where these corners are where the feet actually touch the ground. Okay, so this goes to here, and this to here. Now, this comes down to here. Oh, I'm gonna need to do that. Okay, that to there. I'm needing a different layer. Okay, I only need to do one side. I only need to do one side and then I duplicate it and move it over. Okay, so this to here. This up to here. And then has a line that goes along that. So I'm doing this right about here. Merge that down. Okay, so now this is about the center, and a pole comes up to here, and right here, one down to here. Now, just on its surface, that looks very wonky. However, let's get this in place to where it actually looks like it's the right thickness. Let's also group this one and quickly make it orange so that it's more visible. I don't remember oh no, I remember having the opacity do that. Now this one, group, add layer, making it red. Okay. And this is the one that, oh wait, nope, not there. This one goes on top. So, duplicate that a couple times to make it more solid. Merge down. Duplicate, duplicate. Merge, merge. Okay, so I have those in place now. It's now just a matter of moving them so that they're a believable distance apart. Yep, that's about right. Now on another layer, moving that up, this, we create poles that connect the two. Here, here, and I believe there's ones on the feet as well. Yep. Yes, there is. Here. Here. There would be one there, it's not visible though. that is it. I now get those off from these. Move the group. Remove the sun chairs. Or the sun chair rectangles. Okay, so that is just merely the frame of the sun chair. The actual part that is sat on is going to be kind of like a hammock. Which means merging these oh, actually wait, nope, just realized probably best to have those separate and figure out where to put the vector layer. Vector layer, group all of these, but now we have that. Oh, and that needs to come down to 5. Do we? Yep, that's better. Let's go into here, this, tools, let's make it blue, or no, right, there's no red right now, so let's make it red. Okay, so duplicated the layer, that's fine. Because it means I can move this one over to here. Just to ensure that, oh wait, these are on top. Swap these around. Sun chair. Move that down, merge. It's still a vector layer because they were both vector layers. I need to select them both this way, then this. This. Join with segment. Move that to there, and this to here, and you get a straight line. Or nope, because that undoes the... Oh, actually, wait. That isn't too bad, except for the fact that now they're not technically aligned. They need to be aligned. I know what to do. Bring that onto here. And this one over to here. now it's definitely a straight line across, and I have to do the same for this. Join what segment? Now it's a solid object, I can do this. Huzzah! Let's make it a cream sort of color though. That is it, not a cream. Just a light tan. That works. I am slightly concerned that I'm not getting Twitch chat because my chat window doesn't have the Twitch icon, so let me just quickly refresh StreamerBot's chat window. Okay, there we go, and I haven't been missing anything. Good. Okay, so now we need to make the black lines look like timber, and then we can duplicate this. Okay, so let's grab a color that looks like the timber I'm wanting. Or spruce. They seem to only have access to spruce and dark oak, so let's try and get a color close to what Minecraft spruce wood looks like, which is that color. Now that we have that, let's increase this to 10. Oh. Add a layer. Refresh. Okay, wait, I need to get rid of the middle bar. There we go. That's gone, so I know where this ends. Actually, wait, let's just quickly duplicate that, and then on this layer, do that. This one goes down to beneath that. We move it over to here, like we did before. And this is where I do this. Oh wait, on tool. So that was fairly straight. Okay, that is done correctly. Now I need a vector layer. Oh wait, I can just do it on the same one. However, I do think I need to make an adjustment because that didn't look quite straight. Oh boy. Let's bring that down to a 3. Or 5 actually would be fine. And let's do the modifications. Okay, so corners, needing those to be rounded. Now to get to work turning this into a cushion. And I've gone and gotten myself off distracted, and I'm making the perfect sun chair that I haven't done Pearl or Cleo. My goodness, I'm so easily distracted. Oh, I can also get rid of the blacks. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we have the sun chairs now. That does nothing. This contains nothing. Just these 3 layers. See, Sui. Goodbye. Back. I seem to have accidentally activated the Siri on my iPad across the room. Back beams. Fabrics. Front beams. There we go. That should hopefully also get me back to having add. Okay, it's brought it down significantly. I now need 2 of these though. And I have about just under an hour to draw both Pearl and Cleo. Cleo's in there, and Pearl's in this one. Another reason why I did that as layers. I can easily slot the characters in onto the seats. Okay, so let's start with Pearl. That is Cleo, not Pearl. Just gonna make sure that's clear before moving up to Pearl. Why do I always have problems with putting proportions? At least this is at the start and I can make corrections. Now I need to figure out what... Okay, that's about the pixel size, okay. If lines don't show up in the next couple seconds, then I'm needing to plug in my I didn't properly charge my stylus last time, and that is my own fault. Where did I put the cable for this? Oh. Got it working. Just gotta apply a bit more pressure. Okay. Nope. Where's that charger cable? this is it. Yes, it is. There we go. The idea is this. Shoulders. Okay, so some of this is going to wind up going over the edge. Okay. I can make it work with it and figure out what to do. Need to do it on that layer first though. I'm not happy with my... I need to do a lot of practice on my anatomy because I'm not happy with it right now. I haven't been happy with it all day. I haven't been happy with it for a week if I'm being honest. Really struggled getting that Avid piece out. Or even just done. And then I'm not happy with how it turned out. Oh my goodness, and I'm ranting about my art. Okay. So Poe, at least the generic pose that I'm not happy with is there. I'm just trying to get the idea out. I'm really struggling with art today, and I don't know why. And then over here, Cleo. I seem to like to draw these two laying down next to each other or on each other. I just realized. Because the other piece I have of them both is from after either the first or second episode. Nope, needs the same treatment. Layer up. Shoulder. This one over. Oh. And this one, it's just a matter of moving over. Move over a bit. Not because I want them to be. No. Yep, there they go. They hold hands. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I forgot that beam is also on that layer. I'll just work around it. Those legs are at the wrong angle. Oh wait, that's right, but this is wrong. That is in the wrong spot. That should be here. Now I've got that in place. I need to do the umbrella. Because yes, I am adding an umbrella as well. think about why this umbrella is over here and not in between them. Well, it could be in between them. I could move it there, but the idea is this. This chair is in the shade. This one is not. That is the idea. I just need to get... Oh my goodness, I need to work on the anatomy for this one. I cracked that out pretty quickly though, so let's just make sure I need to that and that. I will be leaving my stylus on the charger after stream this week so that it charges. Because I do not like having it to fail on me mid-stream. 2 weeks in a row. It was a mistake not to. Umbrella. I'm going to move it in between them just so that it's kinda obvious. No. Leaving it there. Because when it's here, it looks like they both should be in shade, but... yeah. Figuring this out is going to take a while. Right now I've just got a couple bases for Beach episode shenanigans. I haven't really drawn anyone in particular. Except for Shelby, a bit. My brain has hit a stall on the creative energy and figuring out what to draw. Because it's stalled on working on this piece. Because I can't figure out what to do to fix the anatomy right now. I can't figure out what to do to fix the anatomy right now. But... Yeah, my brain's completely stalling on figuring out what to draw, so I'm going to... Think. I know what I'm gonna do. For the remainder of the stream, I'm going to be working on finishing getting the other pieces that I've already, because as oh, you can't see the save order, that's right. Beach episode shenanigans. I think I spelled that right. It's currently saving. There we go, it's saved. So before I close it, I'm going to open up. Let me see, which ones have I not exported yet? I've got a tender conversion exported. And that's it in terms of the previous ones. Okay, so let's open up the most recent one. Okay, yep, no, my creative energy is here for finishing off this and getting it ready for export. So that's for Oscar, but I need to do that. Grab that as a color, undo, so that's back down at 60. And where's the airbrush? I know I have it in here somewhere. I know I have a airbrush at least. Okay, is this the... Oh, that's the massive one. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so... soft light. Just around Oscar is going to be softly illuminated with his color. And that includes himself. Since the light of the moon is red, I also need to do a little bit of... Okay, what color? I just have regular full-blown red. But let's go with burn, see what that does. Yeah. That will work, I'll just need to change the opacity. Just a little bit of bounce light. And then let's right in here, this side of Pearl's face. More in this area because this area should be quite dark. And here this isn't going to be red, I'm just doing the red part to signify And now let's figure out what sort of layer to make this. Darken. No. Burn? That works. Decide that it's on, gets burned to be darker. Nope, I don't need to use that. Where's the blend? Smudge. I need you. Just soften that up on pearl. That was a bit too harsh for that sort of, for just the face. With everything, I think that's ready. I just need to put my watermark on it. Okay, so this, I believe, is what I decided was going to be the watermark for, well, the watermark font. I may be doing it in the wrong color, but let's get this in. No, I'm doing it in red because of because vampires, blood. Yeah, okay, so that's correct. Now to figure out what sort of layer to make this. Soft light, no, maybe. Need this to be subtle, but still there. Because this is kind of part of it. My computer can't handle running the poisoning stuff. So, to mess with the AI stuff, I make my watermark extremely subtle in it, but still able to be seen to an extent. Like, you'll notice it if you're paying attention. But I also need to do the paper, the noise. Need to grab that from. Oh, let's also just come in and get rid of those because they don't have anything on them, and that's just inflating. Okay, so this has nothing on it. No, it has something. Oh, that's the frame. Don't need that. Clear that. Let's get. Actually, let's just straight up remove that. I need to open up it. Open up. Where is it? This one. I did. I'm grabbing it. I'm opening it to have a look at what I did. Okay, so did random noise and blur, and then black it to get it to be black and white. Okay. Okay, so add a layer, move it up. Filter, other, random noise. Okay. Oh wait, I forgot to create a mask. Filter, random noise, create filter mask. Okay, there's that. Now I also need to add another filter to this, which is just blur. create another filter mask. I need to adjust this one. Remind myself what... Okay, it's a soft light layer. I need to group it so that that can be soft light, but okay, grouped. Let's fill this with white first. Okay, that does say filled with white. Good. Let's add a layer. Fill it with black. And that was a color layer at 100%. Color. There's the black and white. Need to adjust the properties of this. Properties are up here. Hey! Welcome in! You're at the end of the stream. I'm currently adding... I'll show you what's underneath all this. I did most of this last week, a couple weeks ago. And I'm currently adding a noise layer to it to kind of give it its sort of paper texture. How are you doing? Yeah. Oh, I need to unlink these because I'm trying to get that one to be... Oh. Did you have fun? Any chaos happen? Because I assume it's the D&D one. Oh no! How many rails did they fall off? Are they even still on a train, or are they somehow on a boat? Soft light with 30% opacity. Soft light. Now it's extremely subtle and hard to see, but but if you grab a color picker, you can see the difference just by moving it around. Oh no! Oh no! An hour and a half to figure out how to just leave a town. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of a number of times from when we played. Oh my goodness. So how did they eventually decide to leave town? Save that. Okay, so let's open. Gotten that one. Gotten the floorboards. Oh. Oh boy. And what order did they decide to do them in before leaving? Oh. Oh, that's just... That's just so... That is just so blissfully relatable. The number of times that happened, where it was like I wanted to do stuff, but the rest of people were leaving, and then there were times where I was where it was. There was definitely times where we each wanted to still do something, but because everyone else was wanting to leave, we left town. Oh. Oh my goodness. That is a mood as well. Like, I assume none of them, besides Theo's cleric have money. And none of them are rich kids. I assume that. But my goodness. Okay, so opening up this one to see is... no, cancel. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Is there another piece on this one that I could grab, or is this another one where I only managed to do one? Tend to hold, or... Yeah, nope, never. Didn't. I think that's all the ones that I've got that I feel happy with. Soldier and Wayward Far Traveler. Ah, yeah. I imagine they use most of their coin getting places, so they don't have much. That makes sense. But man... Oh. Okay, so I've got those... Oh, I need to export this still. Export advanced. PNG. Oh, I haven't selected the metadata for this session, so configure. So, what was their reason for having originally been in that town to begin with? The cleric will just occasionally call Theo in, so he treats them like sugar baby. He's more or less like, see, you did the job I sent you on. Good job, buddy. Here's the gold. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so metadata has been selected, so now I can export. Oh boy. Because the Goddess of Stars sent one of them, Theo sent one of them, Theo sent the other, and the one from the Shadowfell fell out of a portal in the temple. Okay, so this is them having just survived in this town. Okay, this is the start of things. I hope. Otherwise, how long have they been in this town? Okay, so it should be exporting now. They are 10 sessions deep. Have they achieved any of the goals that the cleric and the soldier arrived were sent to the town for, or was it the? I forget which. Yeah, okay, that's good at least. I remember, if I remember correctly, we often left a number of places you had stuff for us still to do that was important. But because some of us didn't notice it, and the others didn't feel that it was important enough to tell us that there was still stuff to do, we just left. Ah. Yeah. Oh, at least they're getting stuff done. At least they're getting everything they need to done. Hopefully. There wasn't any minor thing that they missed. Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree there. I will say, in the defense, the character he made wasn't supposed to be made for more than played for more than a one-shot, and he really struggled making it a actually good character beyond that point. So yeah, I feel like a lot of our characters weren't. I feel like a lot of us struggled to make our characters better than beyond what we had made them for the one shot. Yeah. Yeah, I think that he definitely fits in the role of DM better because when he's a player, he kind of tries to make it a story all about him, and everyone else is just there to help support what his character's up to. Because I definitely had planned for Major to try and be more assertive, but with how I saw Liam's, I was like, let's try and have her be the one. Let's adjust to try and have her be the one trying to hold the group together, so that they can at least get done what they need to get done. And then I definitely did not do that well, because I have a hard time keeping friend groups together in the first place, so tried to learn some stuff while with her doing it, but ultimately fell into my own inability to hold friend groups together, and yeah. It shouldn't be on one person to hold a friend group together either, so... I know. It was the fault of a number of things. Yeah. A lot of things went wrong all at once, and had any individual one of them happened in an isolated case, it would have been fine. But the fact they all happened at the same time, it was like a House of Cards can occasionally have one card fall down within it and stay standing, but but once enough cards fall down within it, the structure fails and it all collapses. So yeah, it was definitely no singular fault. It was the culmination of everything that caused things to fall apart. But yeah. So I've already exported this one, and as you can see, here's where the subtle... Oh, I was supposed to put an at the start of it. That... Yeah, I'm going to re-export this one, but I need to edit the text. Thank goodness for vector layers. Yeah. But other than D&D, how has your things been going for you? Yeah. Oh, I've been meaning to ask, you still playing in the Isles game, or did that fall apart as well? Because I saw that heading towards falling apart, and I wasn't in the mental space to be there for it falling apart, so I got out early. I'm being very careful with what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is audible. So I don't know if he ever watches my stuff, so... But I definitely have words that I would say if... Yeah. That I have words that I would say if I was closer and I had a better understanding of them, but I thought I understood them. But with how things went, yeah, he does enough to have people around that will be there for him if he needs help. That's about it. That's what I'd say he's like. Yeah, I love it. I put it in so that one, it's a great way of protecting against AI, because AI image training will pick up on the fact that there's something there and try and put it in a mess of text, and you be able to tell, because it wouldn't look cohesive. I'm very particular with where I put it. And since this is all so what all of this is fan art for a Minecraft roleplay series that I've been enjoying it and has really been providing me something to take my mind off a lot of the stuff that's happened in my life. So it's been really helpful. So I've been doing a lot of fan art on stream of it. It's basically I don't remember the rules of Werewolf well enough to say for certain, but it's kind of like a game where two people start out as infected, and they are slowly trying to spread to everyone else. But it's vampire themed, so I've really been enjoying it. I've really been enjoying watching it and stuff, and these two just... Oh yes. It is so, I absolutely... If you're wanting to get into it while having the person that you're watching be just as oblivious, watch Pearlescent Moon's point of view. She misses most of the important stuff up until the most recent episode. And even the second most recent, where she was actively getting shown the stuff by Cleo, who had been turned. Pearl's internet cut out mid session, but came back. So she missed a massive chunk of the session, which means she also missed more of the important stuff that was happening. There is also the fandom is also theorizes that she may herself be a werewolf. So because she hunts werewolves, she's said this. But everyone's like, yeah, no, you're definitely a werewolf. So, because she's so cagey about it, and she somehow lost her family. Not in the they died, they are missing. And it's like, how do you just lose your family? How? So it's like, either she's going to have a good explanation for it, or the fan base is just going to be continue running with the fact that she's a werewolf. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so Cleo got turned into a vampire, and the following episode she immediately started telling people she trusted within town rather than defecting to the vampire side. Because they are still given the choice on whether they continue helping the humans to try and triumphant, try and get and succeed over the vampires, or they can join the vampire side. Some of them, and as more and more vampires have come into the mix, less of them are wanting to having a definitive choice to definitive oh, you have to go with the vampires. The first two, it was because, oh, the town is going to shun us, but so much of the town has started to accept those who have come out as vampires, and the idea of vampire of people becoming vampires, and vampires not being monsters but actually just a different type of people, that has become more and more a thing as towards the more recent episodes, to where people have the most recent one. Pretty much everyone who was a vampire who was in town came out as a vampire to the remaining humans, with the exception of 2 cases. One being a human pretending to be a vampire because he wanted to take a stand with the vampires that were in town, that were not wanting to hurt people. But then there's one vampire who is still hiding it from the rest of the town because he's in so much denial. Because if he came out as a vampire now, he would, and because he chose to become one because he had been sick and and to overcome the sickness, he chose to become a vampire. He had initially been so against, and he was the one who had set in everyone's mind that vampires were monsters that had to be killed, that now that he himself has chosen, he is such a hypocrite that he fears what people will do to him if he comes out as one. And the 2 who know, and the 3 of them know, 3 of the ones in town know that he's a vampire, because two of them came upon him just after he had been turned, and were like, what, why did you do this, and that. And the 3rd one had been turned elsewhere at the exact same time he was. And oh my goodness, it is so juicy, because the two who got turned in the most recent episode were roommates. Like, they bunker together. So one of them knows that the other is a vampire. The other one, they both know each other is a vampire, but unfortunately not in that case. But these two are roommates. Pearl and Cleo, they're definitely that sort of roommates. Cleo has made so many innuendoous jokes about how tasty Pearl would be, and that, and how biteable she looks. And it's just so much like, I have been enjoying it so much. It's been so good to have something like this at this point in time. It started just in time for me to have something, to use it as a support, rather than having it come out later and having spiraled a bit. Yeah, it is good. Everyone has a slightly different styles of how they tell the story within their videos, which is why I'm saying, if you want to start out from a point of view that is equally as oblivious as you will be, start with Pearl's, then go to Cleo's, because Cleo is the most keyed in, along with Legundo, who is the doctor, and the human who is pretending to be a vampire to the townsfolk now, to take a stand with them, to take a stand and make a point of they are not different, because you cannot tell whether he is a vampire or not. He is very much like, the hunger of vampirism is the sickness, not the immortality, not the enhanced abilities of it, just the hunger that can drive them insane and to bloodlust. That is what he wants to find a cure for. The rest he is fine with. The rest he is like, that is just people. If you are good at something, that is not a sickness. So, but a number of other people are still trying to find a way to completely reverse it for those who were turned forcefully. But some of those who have been turned have been manipulated into thinking that it is for the better, even though they were turned forcefully. So, yeah. And one of the vampires is very much hates humans. I understand completely why, because the man that had treated him so kindly, where he was himself a human, with a very severe case of leprosy, while the rest of the town had townsfolk had been shunning him and treating him poorly. The mayor of the town treated him kindly, revealed that he was a vampire, offered to him vampirism as a cure for his leprosy, and then while he was recovering from having been turned, the townsfolk burned the mayor at the stake. And when he came out and found that had been what happened, blood frenzy ensued, and a lot of people died. So, I understand where he's coming from, but how he handles and how he interprets things, and how he mass blames everyone for the faults of the few very much makes it like, yeah, no, he's obviously the bad guy. Yeah. The vampires in town, they've been surviving off of animals and raw potatoes. Because of Minecraft mechanics, raw potatoes are also something that can provide the hunger part, provide the hunger hunches, because there are 3 stages of vampirism. The first stage is just having been turned. You will fill up a blood bar enough. You get to the second stage, which causes your eyes to go red. And you will get a couple other new abilities. But if you if you get to stage 3, your hair tends to go white. You get a completely new outfit. And you have access to a lot of abilities. You can go down stages in terms of the abilities, but once you move up a stage in appearance, just Germans, blood sausages, and raw potatoes. There are theories that there are theories in the fandom that it's taking place in Germany, and a couple of people have been like, just imagine if they were all talking German. It would be so much more hilarious than it is serious, than it is when it is serious. So, yeah, it's very much fun, and I've been really enjoying watching it. But yeah, I have been talking so long that I've hit the end of my stream time. But yeah, I need to just quickly make sure I've exported this with the corrected watermark. Thanks. I had reached creative burnout and creative depletion for today. It's stuff because I was really struggling with anatomy today. So, yeah. You were going to be heading off, or are you going to be finding something else to put on Twitch? Yeah. Okay. Have a good night and sleep well. You definitely need it with how much I know you work. Thanks. And now for anyone else who may be watching and just not talking. Yeah, you need to find a new place to stay so you can drop one of those jobs. It is not healthy to have 3 jobs. For one person. Let's find someone to send any potential lurkers. We don't have to move, so I can stop working on them now. What do you mean you don't have to move? I am a bit confused. What do you mean your ticket was dismissed? Oh. Oh, that is just... I so hope you go and look at the contract that you signed for renting the place, because that does not sound legal. So unless there's something written in the fine print that says the landlord can do that. Just the threat of that would have me looking for a new place. Oh. Ah, yikes. Glad that got dismissed. Oh. Oh, that... Being able to drive by myself has taught me that brakes are important. Very much so. So if they fail... That is not good. Okay, good. Get on a yearly lease, because that is definitely going to be better for your mental health, because you can plan the money for it rather than monthly payments. Oh boy. Yeah. Absolutely look over whatever you sign it that makes it a yearly lease. Make sure there isn't anything that could potentially have her pulling you out just for whatever reason she chooses with warning like that. Because that isn't... Because, well, she is the landlord. That is not fair to do to a human being. Anyways, I'm ending stream now, and I'm a start a raid to Ferret Software. Ah, okay, so you've been on a monthly lease since then. Okay, yep. See ya, go get some sleep. You need it. And anyone else who has been listening to me gasbag about stuff, enjoy the raid over to Ferret Software. I don't think any of the ferrets over there are currently out, but who knows? It's good to support them since they rescue ferrets. See ya.